Hey guys, this is AzureCuzYeah, and this is my second round in the Point Man Commentator Tournament. This is round 2 between me and MBH Bossrobert. And for those of you who don't know who Bossrobert is, he's a very good player. He's especially good. And because he's so good, I had to pull all my stops, and I needed to come up with a way to beat him. Now, Robert's very good at skirmishing, and he wins a lot of games. He gets very far in tournaments. He's one of the best players in this game. And I am not. I am absolutely not. So, to attempt to beat him, I tried to do a bunch of things. I got in verbal altercations with him. I ignored him for 3 days, and probably most importantly, I brought the cheesiest goddamn army you can ever imagine to our first game. And what I did, essentially, was I brought 1,000,000 Yari Ashigaru and Naginata samurais, and essentially, I just spammed him to death with spears. And, you know, my normal rush, I know it doesn't work against him. You know, it doesn't work against most good players. And, you know, if I really wanted to pull through in this tournament, I knew I had to do something ridiculous and a little crazy. So essentially, my army consists of 2 matchlock units, a bunch of level 9 Yari Ashigaru. I leveled them up pretty high. It gives them a lot of morale, a lot of melee attack, and a lot of melee defense. And then on the flanks, I essentially have more Yari Ashigaru that are level 1 and a Naginata samurai to keep the morale up. And my goal here is pretty much to flank his main army here. And because I have so many spears, and in classic mode, there's no real lone swords to cause crazy devastation, I get away with murder here, I think. I'm able to, you know, move and flank over here, and I try to get, you know, his best and weakest side. And I do have to contend with these bow cav coming around and shooting my Naginata samurai, but they have a lot of armor, and they're not taking many casualties. So, long story short here, I'm going to form up my line here, and I'm going to send in my Matchlock Ashigaru to just pretty much, they're just there to be a target. I want him to focus on my Matchlock Ashigaru specifically, because they're not what's going to win the game for me. What's going to win the game for me is my masses of spears that pretty much surround and poke my enemy to death. My goal is strictly the flank. The flanking bonus is so outrageous in this game that if I was to take, you know, this unit of bow cav and smash it into the back of these Yari Ashigaru, they may flee. They may flee, even though they're spears and they have a huge bonus, 20 to cav. So, this is where I come into play, and I form up my lines, and I'm getting hit by, you know, his bow warrior monks and whatnot. And this is where I make my move. Clearly, I can't really flank much on this side as well because he has all these cav here. I don't want to get flanked. So I bring a majority of my guys, swing the door this way. And I'm going to bring up my general and do a stand and fight in these woods while I can. And I move up most of my, matchlocks right away just to start shooting, just to be targets. I know he's shooting at them. And this is where, you know, it comes into play where I need to come around and swing through and get behind his guys here. Now on this side, I'm pretty much just holding the line. I mean, I have this Naginata samurai that's going to try to attempt to keep these guys from leaving too early, but it's going to be sketch, you know. I mean, I'm going to lose a lot of Yari Ashigaru, but at the same time, I'm going to flank so many of his guys that's not going to matter. And you know, he's trying to flank me too on the same end, but I did turn my Yari Ashigaru around and I'm hitting him. So I'm pretty much hammering away here. Over here, my my door over here, my window is pretty much closing. I'm not feeling too good. But a lot of my guys, I think they do hold on. And I'm able to bring this Naginata Samurai in and push it from this side, which keeps a lot of these units still over there. And he targeted my Matchlock Ashigaru, but at the same time, I'm still able to get a lot of volleys off just because I have so many units coming around and being annoying during this phase here. And these vocab are still behind, and I'm trying to protect my general the best I can, but there is this huge window right here that he could have taken advantage of that he didn't. And I do bring my Yari Ashigaru back. Now, you see a lot of my Yari Ashigaru do freak out, and that is mostly because of Warcry, but because they have so much synergy together, they feed off each other. And when they're doing good, they're all going to do good, even though they're weak units. And I have the Naginata Samurai in there. Where is he? Right there, right in the middle, keeping them up. Now, they're all extremely tired now. So I'm keeping things together, I'm keeping my general in the woods, I'm trying to form up all my guys together. And as you can see, right here, his Matchlocks Ashigaru getting hit. His Katana Samurai, and he has some bows over there that aren't getting hit yet, but they could be soon, as this Katana Samurai is fighting this Naginata Samurai, and they're both pretty similar in stats. They're holding on pretty strongly. Right now, I do have this giant cluster of spears here, which is kind of scary, but it does stay together as they're still flanking these Katana Samurai. And I probably should have spread them out a little more, but I didn't. And I pretty much used this Naginata Samurai to flank in after scaring that general away. And unfortunately, he did just get my general, but it's okay. I have way more units than him, and I'm keeping them together. And he's trying his hardest, you know, his war cries and the whistling arrows to scare me away. But I pretty much have taken the battlefield. I mean, I have more units than him. A lot of his guys are going to flee right now, and I'm just trying to hold my own here. Now, he does still have these vocab that are still hitting me, even though I have, you know, this superiority here. And I'm trying to move my guys over here to clear as many land units as possible, because they're going to be the ones that really ruin the game for me. So I'm pushing sideways, I'm trying to get his general, I can't, so I'm going to bring the rest of my guys now down here and put them in the trees. I know he still has some ammunition left, and he's going to attempt to, you know, pick off my guys one at a time, especially the lower ones. And as you can see, a lot of my guys are extremely wounded, extremely fatigued. So well, I really have to play waiting game here. I essentially have a boatload of spears. Nothing. I don't have my general anymore. Don't have my Matchlocks anymore. I didn't protect them well enough. So I'm just going to pull my guys in the trees, keep them still, and just rest. And I'm pretty much going to fast forward here because it's going to be blatantly obvious. He's going to move his vocab up, pick off as much as he can, and every now and then I'm going to move a guy up and move some of my guys back, and I'm going to try to scare him away and protect my guys as much as possible. And you're going to see that he's going to try, you know, to move up, you know, this Yari Ashigaru trying to, you know, trick me a little bit. You know, he moves his vocab up to, you know, get better shots on. And, you know, I'm moving my guys back and forth, you know, just trying to keep them alive. And these trees are doing the same thing. These trees are blocking a lot of these arrows, and being able to push him back and forth here. And it's more of the same. And essentially, when he runs out of arrows, I win the game. And like I said before, under normal circumstances, I would not have won this game. If I rushed against him with a, you know, a typical Armenian classic with some Odachis, I would have lost. He would have picked them off. He probably would have flanked me with his cavalry, and, you know, I just wouldn't have won, and I know that. And if I tried to play his game, which you normally have to do to beat him, you know, skirmishing with, you know, bow warrior monks and bow Ashigaru, I definitely would have lost. I don't do that. I never played Napoleon. I was never good enough to do that. I never learned how to do it properly. And, you know, it's probably something I should learn how to do. But, you know, I'm sticking to what I can do best to move on in this tournament. And, you know, in this tournament, he was probably the front runner. You know, I can't imagine anybody else winning it. I mean, the names are sort of big, but he's definitely the biggest. And, I mean, I can't imagine doing this against anybody else. But I did do it against him because I knew I had no chance. Alright, guys, so that is game 1 of round 2. And I'm going to go to game 2 next, so please follow up on this video.